What's up everybody, this is Danny, and today I'm going to be doing a camera comparison that everybody's been asking me for, and that is the current king of cameras, the Pixel 2 XL versus the brand new Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So I'm just going to walk around a little bit, show you what the stabilization is like. It's kind of a windy day, so let's see what the audio sounds like. I'll switch in between them and you let me know which one sounds best. So the new dual aperture camera on the Galaxy S9 Plus, that is the big question. It's got the fastest aperture that we've seen at f1.5, so we're going to see if that makes a difference. They both have 12 megapixel cameras, but they have two different approaches, so I'm going to go out and see what these cameras are all about. Let's get started. I tested both cameras in all lighting conditions, and let me start by saying that both of these cameras produce incredible pictures, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by either. But these two phones have two different approaches to images, and you'll see the same characteristics over and over again in most of the pictures, so let me break those down. The Pixel 2 XL usually lands towards the colder side of white balance and usually has more contrast with slightly better dynamic range, and some shots show this better than others, but a lot of times the Pixel images look a little darker due to the high contrast of the HDR Plus processing. But overall, I don't blame people for liking the Pixel's images better because most of the time they do look better right out of the camera. But the Galaxy S9 tends to land on the warmer side of the white balance. It creates a brighter image most of the time and represents the colors better of what you're actually seeing. And the Pixel 2 XL sometimes can oversaturate the colors, giving them an inaccurate, super saturated look. For some people that's not important, and some might not even care because they might want to share it just like this. This is definitely going to be a preference thing, but I feel like the overall exposure is better on the Pixel 2 XL and overall dynamic range is better, but in daytime photos, the differences aren't that drastic. They do go back and forth, but these are the main differences that I'm seeing consistently. The front-facing camera though is so much better on the Pixel 2 XL. Even though they're both 8 megapixels, it does a better job overall, especially with the front-facing portrait mode. There's better background separation, sharper for sure, and it has much better exposure. The Samsung looks soft and blown out, and the same results happen in low light too. This is one of the biggest weaknesses of Samsung phones, so I hope they fix this really soon. When it comes to the rear camera portrait mode, the Pixel 2 XL can do this without the second camera, and it does a great job most of the time. If you want the ability to get a 2x zoom without loss of quality, then the Galaxy S9 Plus is the way to go, but it all depends on your photography needs. But after taking quite a few portrait shots side by side, I feel the Pixel does a better job most of the time with better edge detection, more of the subjects in focus, and it's sharper overall with better exposure. But I do have to say, when the Samsung hits, it does really well. But both of these aren't perfect. You can see mistakes in this shot in multiple places on both phones, but overall, I like the Pixel 2 XL better. When it comes to 4K video, I like the Galaxy S9 Plus's image better dynamic range and contrast, so if you're a smartphone video shooter, I would probably choose the Samsung. But when it comes to walking footage, for some reason in my testing, the optical image stabilization on the Galaxy S9 Plus seems a little inconsistent, but I'm sure that can be fixed with a software update, and the Pixel 2 XL's electronic stabilization is pretty incredible, and even though you can see little micro shakes in the footage, if you look really close, the result is pretty smooth. The Pixel 2 XL shoots slow motion at 240 frames per second in 720p, and it looks okay, but the Galaxy S9 has a crazy 960 frames per second at 720p, so it's pretty unreal what this phone can do, but you do have to be careful that you're in good lighting or it turns into a noisy mess. Low light is what you guys have been waiting for. The Galaxy S9 Plus should be better all around due to the f1.5 aperture on the new dual aperture camera, but the results are much closer than you would think. They do go back and forth, but generally the Pixel's images are sharper with better detail and better dynamic range, but that does come with the cost because there's more noise in the shot. Some might actually prefer this, but if you want less noise, the Galaxy S9 Plus might be the way to go because it's some of the best noise reduction that I've seen on a smartphone, but in some pictures it does come at a cost. The Galaxy S9 does usually create the brighter picture, but most of the time in extreme low light conditions, the f1.5 aperture can make the photo look a little blurred out or muddy, causing lack of detail, especially on macro shots. But the one thing the Pixel does better for sure is dynamic range in the low light conditions.
Look at how much detail there is here in the windows. In this situation, you can see everything inside the windows, where the S9 Plus's image is completely blown out and you can't see anything there. So I feel like the Pixel does a much better job with the exposure all throughout the testing, and it has higher dynamic range in lower light conditions. The Pixel isn't perfect either sometimes, and colors are not accurate. The shot can look brighter than it actually should, not representing the scene accurately, but some might not even care about accuracy when it comes to pictures that you can share off the bat, and I would totally understand that, because in a blind test, they would probably pick the Pixel's image first. In some low light situations, the S9 Plus had more accurate color representation. I like the way that it came out in the end with better contrast, and it also got all of the bubbles in this glass, and I'm not sure what happened here on the Pixel. I took them right after each other, but sometimes the S9 Plus just completely misses the mark when it comes to color. And even though some people can argue that the S9 Plus's image looks better here with better noise reduction, the light was actually blue, so the Pixel represented it right. And the S9 kind of struggles when it comes to reds as well. You can see here that the red is completely washed out, where the Pixel 2 XL represents that red well. So if I had to pick a winner for low light, surprisingly, I would pick the Pixel 2 XL overall. So after looking at all these images, what did you guys think? Is it Team Galaxy or Team Pixel? Let me know which one that you like better in the comment section below. I know it's a big preference thing, and I know people love these phones, but be gentle and be nice in the comments. There's no reason to argue. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more videos like this and hit that bell icon so you get notified of more videos like this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. I'm looking forward to reading the comments.